let's talk about how to plan your best date ever. There are people who have told the others about the first and number one problem that I heard the most about who pay for your date. When you need to eat, when you play for things, they always ask about who's gonna pay. And I've heard about all kinds of answers, but none of them actually qualify for your best date. Well, sure, they're gonna make a good enough date if you follow along the usual ways. But if you want the most romantic ever, like most memorable one that nobody will ever forget about, here's the thing for you. And honestly, I wanted to keep it to myself, but I just realized that maybe we'll just share it out and see who is gonna reach, and hopefully the kind souls who are watching this, they're gonna be able to also have their memorable experiences. Okay, so first off, who you think is gonna pay? Have your answers, just think about it for a bit, let it sink into it, because you're gonna see how each and every answer is not gonna fulfill most of the people. Okay, for example, you're gonna say, I am a liberal feminist, just let me do the favor. Or maybe like there are people who are like, let me be the gentleman, or people who are like, oh, you know what, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna pay first. Or people are like, let's split the bill. But then according to Ray Dalio, yeah, that person is an economist, but according to like one of his books, um if you always split the bill, like it depends, like it's kind of like not really giving you a tight family or relationship or vibe. But I have to say here, it depends on people. I'm just saying to the people who need the juicy memorable things, right? So, and then we're like, oh, then maybe we're gonna just pick, like have a lucky draw each time. You are getting way more creative right there. So that's what I have been thinking about. But it's gonna be even more insane if we max it out. How? Just imagine this. None of you are paid. Yeah. None of you are gonna be paying. You're just gonna grab the hand of your other half, no matter who this person is, and you're gonna be like, let's go. And boom, just run. It's gonna be your most memorable date ever. Cheers. And please do it in a way that is safe and legal. You're like, no, you're definitely joking right there. How am I gonna do it legally? You know what human treasure is? Imagination, creativity, straight from your soul. If you love someone enough, you know exactly how to do it. If you are a person who is like meeting your other person who romanticize life the same way as you do, then it's okay. But then if you find this video helpful, then you can also think about the other ways to romanticize life. I'm just giving you an example. Let's say the problem solvers and the solution providers, they would know immediately, or maybe I'm gonna let my lawyer pay instead. We're just gonna run away. Or maybe we're gonna own this restaurant. Or maybe, I'm not even gonna spend a cent on it. I'm gonna just manifest it into my life like it's a miracle, because this place and all this food, it comes from imagination. Yeah, you just have to. You just have to. Because, as a person who always really and truly romanticizing life, some people always ask me about how to be more romantic. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because if you love yourself enough, you are living your life, you're living your moment, and you know. Let me take a sip of my water. And yeah. And of course, I have seen people who were like really quiet together and they basically just live their lives like that and they think that that is romantic and that's for them. But for me, we need something insane. And if you're watching this, it means that you are also seeking for something insane. And you only live once. Yes, you and the people you love, the lives you touch for this lifetime that you remember, you're only gonna do it once. So when you think that, oh, everything is just not so funny, is it even practical? That is the exact time that you could be putting into thinking about what to do. And for the people who are coming in and being like, this is just, I know, I know, I know how it feels like when you don't even know if this person exists, if you even know this person, if you would even ever have a person like that, then just be that person for yourself. It's gonna be so funny if you run away with yourself. But it's okay. I'm gonna romanticize life just by drinking plain water like it's $1 million water. But then I don't like to define it that way sometimes because people are gonna think about how the resources are the things that define them. For me, love defines me, so this is more like the kind of water that only belongs to me and me only. Me only. Oh, you don't think about it? Go search it up. I just saw another video. I forgot to cite that research because it's a really meaningful research about those people like having the experiment of giving the drinks that are the exact same drinks to two group of no to the same group of people. I forgot about that, but you can search it up and then they tell them that a thing is priced higher over another thing and ask them about the taste on purpose. And you know what I mean, you know what they did? They just, on average, told them that, oh, the one that is labeled as, you know, the highly priced thingy is kind of like tastier. When, in fact, those two things are the exact same things. Yeah, human minds are ridiculous. And so when people are asking about how to romanticize life, it's more like how to make this experience actually the most memorable in ways that it is different from your daily life. So, for example, people are kept on thinking that it needs to be expensive, it needs to be struggling, it needs to put too much effort. Like, I mean, it's a choice. It's a choice. Every single day, from the moment I wake up, I romanticize my life exactly the way I love. Yeah, and I don't see it as a problem. Why? Because the way that I'm grateful of having oxygen itself, I breathe in a different way. Like it is insane for me. Think of it as the most precious thing to you. For the people who only get motivated when there is extrinsic value, then you might be thinking it as $1 million, $1 billion breath and $1 billion water. For the people who are like me, you're more artsy, you're driven by value ourselves, then take it as It is as a moment that makes us feel so alive with meaning from within. Feel it. That's how I romanticize life. Interesting. And just to spill the tea for a little, I once thought about it as well. I once thought that being romantic might need or certain procedures, one, two, three, like things that the other people tell you, whatever, whatever. Till I realized that no. And the saddest point was that there were certain people who did point one, two, three that I felt like this person didn't even know about me because they're just copy and pasting what the society think of us. Which I am not trying to say, oh, we just reject it. It's just that it's cute for the people who are meant for it, but then you know you can't be copying and pasting the other people's lives or the other people's ways of measuring life the same way again and again. You're gonna have your ways of doing things. You're gonna romanticize life the same way. And that's why when people just put on certain things like fast fashion or certain beauty standards or certain generative AI filters that weren't ethical or eco-friendly, I was just like, damn, that might not be romanticizing life, okay? While we are talking about technology and arts and humans in another separate video, right here, we want to declare that romanticizing life, it comes from the way that we live, it comes from the ways that we treat each other and choose love. While we understand our boundaries, I did not have healthy boundary because, like we say, the people who know you, they are scarce. They are like always being defined by hopeless romantic by certain groups of society, but I call myself hopeful romantic because I still have trust and faith that my person is finding me actively. And the moment that person who is the love of my life sees me, that person knows immediately and won't treat me like a problem. And that person is gonna come to me or swim to me or fly to me. I don't care. Or magically appear in front of me because it's a choice. And that's when I know that it's healthy for me to be able to do the same thing. And yeah, why not continue planning our date? Because it doesn't just pause or end at the stage of paying for who, right? After running away, we always think about what about buying flowers? I have so many different thoughts of this, okay? So, first of all, like last time, I would think of it as wow, this is so romantic about having, roses and stuff. And then my mom is like, but there are thorns. And I'm like, ew, there are thorns. I don't like them. Okay, okay, that's me. But for the people who love flowers, you have the languages of the flowers. You know what do they mean? What do you like? But then at the same time, you gotta realize something. A person's interest changes over time. So for the people who expect the same person to be the same all over again, you want to reconfirm whether they're the same. Yeah, it depends. But for me, for people who are romantic, uh, I thought about a bouquet and then not a bouquet, maybe a living one. And then it's not convenient to bring the living plants. Then maybe flower as tea. But then no, because I got dizzy because of the tea and there is like too much of that. Or maybe edible flowers on cakes. But then after we eat them, they're gone. Oh, how about the ones that are fake? I don't like fake. It felt like not cool. And is it cool for the environment? I don't know. And then, hmm, I thought about a solution eventually that is really very romantic. And I really don't usually share about it, but since you have watched it this far, if whoever really ever watched this, alright, we're gonna stand right there with another person, mm-hmm, our love, and guess what? The flowers are gonna blossom from the whole sky. Yeah, real ones, edible ones, I don't care. And then you're gonna stand around in the herb garden. Yeah, if you wanna eat, you can just chop chop and eat. And then the flowers, you have many different flowers that you like. Yeah, again, they're gonna be changing in gradient colors, and then they are kind of sparkly but great for the environment. And then they blossom wherever we go. Wow, and they fall onto us, they rain flowers on us, and then we smell like flowers without perfume, because who needs perfume with film? Hmm, just imagine how romantic that is. Huh? Just imagine how romantic that is. Because I really don't like the same things. I mean, if you really thought it through, it's okay. But then, when people are literally copy and pasting things from each other, and then they're like, it's so romantic, but did you even use your brain? Did you even use your brain on another person? Or you're just thinking that, oh, I do it that way so that I get this person, and then we boom, and then go. That is so freaking. Oh, let's manifest love once again. Our love. Cheers to romanticizing life. And there we go. There are people who's gonna be like, this person is just dreaming. Yes, dream. In fact, dream big. And the people who tell you that fairy tales are not true or dreams are not true, throw them out of your dream. What are you doing? I was once the girl who's gonna like brush the hair of Barbie dolls and see each and every person as a baby, and I still do. But then at certain moments, I do understand that while we are all the same species of the same energy body, we're somehow already trying to experience life using different physical bodies and matters in this world. And if that is so, I have to use my ways that I know are worth living for me. So the people who don't see it the same way, please do not go out there and just, in Mandarin there is this word that is folding, which is kind of similar with the word that is like 泼冷水. It is like telling you that you are just kind of like pouring cold water on someone, even before knowing it or after, it doesn't matter. You know what it means? It's kind of like not the cold bucket challenge, it's different. It's like kind of like people are so hopeful, so idealistic, and then they're the people who are thinking about the solution step by step, and then there are the people who are kept on doing things like just, oh, you can't do it because blah blah blah, oh, you can't do it because blah blah blah, oh, you can't do it blah 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 blah. They are completely different from the people who are like, oh, I know you might face this challenge, but I am here to solve this with you, and here is solution 1 2 3. Here are the options. What do we choose? Wow, I really love you for being creative. There is a huge difference. Who do you want to become? And then there's another phrase that I love in Mandarin, 有趣的大人. Yeah, it's kind of like the kind of adult who is really interesting? Do you want to be the kind of person who is really interesting, or the kind of person who is dull, who is gonna sometimes I feel like I become like them because I dislike them labeling me. But then in the process of trying to explain about how I feel, I realize that I might in turn label them. So I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna do it yourself. You know what I mean. We're not gonna be the same person as them. Just let them go if they don't belong to us. I had a friend that I knew since primary school and I met her. While I am grateful for having her, I don't know why she's just kept on telling me that the animation that I watch is fake and arts is just she's not totally not into arts and she is just a person that I used to treasure so much that I still do. But then especially when I'm like, oh, the arts cards and trying to give her and she's like, this is probably gonna end up on my rack, and then I go on and hurt her and be because I was already hurt, and then I'm like, yeah, fine, the bookmark that you give me is probably gonna be trashed somewhere anyway. You see how unnecessary this is? And I'm like, that is probably why we became friends, right? To trash each other? No, I want to find an entirely new community. I'm so done with that. And I don't want to be like that, okay? So, if you are a romantic person, don't just fit in into a group of not romantic people and just lower your standards into not romantic life. Please, we need people like you. It's not true. Whatever the other people tell you about things are not true, this not true, that not true, just throw them away. All the stories that we have seen, what they are trying to tell us is that they have a voice, they have certain ways, they have certain cinematic feelings and colors and vibrant things that are telling their messages, expressing in a way there are more truths hidden beneath than the truths that people are able to tell about. Why? Because there are many things that are untold in languages that need our visions, you know? And why are we even talking about this? Because this is telling us about why and how and what is all this about. When people are thinking that the group who is like hopeful romantic is like kind of hopeless, are they even gonna live in society? Are they gonna even earn themselves a life? Yes, you're earning it beautifully. If you haven't achieved there yet, just promise me we're gonna get there from a person who used to be I was come on, people were telling I was scrolling past and then people were like, the ones who are like, wow, pretty wealthy, and then the ones who are like, oh, what if we are unemployed? I don't even know what to feel because I had been through different stages before the entrepreneur girl, but then being an entrepreneur with risk, in your income sometimes it's not even zero, it's negative, it's worse than being unemployed. So I need to warn you here, but if you got that vision, go for it, but don't lose money. And oh, by the way, so being billionaires do not mean that you are not kind. You can be kind at the same time and you can be wise at the same time. It's just really a fallacy that people are putting things against each other when they don't have to be. Why? Just look at if there are plants that are even filtering microplastics, if there is the day and night shift that can take over each other by a natural law, what do you think life is? Life is an intricate structure with however chaotic mess that is beautifully unfolding itself inside of it. Because I just drew and wrote these things, golden ratios, snowflakes, me, myself. If you observe life enough, as above, so below, everything is connected. So, as we are romanticizing life again, after having the whole sky full of flower petals and flowers blossoming, or whatever flower garden that might even suck us up into a brand new world that nobody even finds us. There we go. That is how you finally get your imaginative brain back. Not just brain, but also your heart, also your soul, your entire self. When you're being born as a baby, you are not being born so that you can be technically enslaved into thinking that one thing is okay over another just because somebody else told you about it. And that person, don't blame that thing, don't blame this, don't blame that, because it's probably not anybody's fault. No rights, no wrongs. And even if it is, it's most likely that it's everybody's fault when it is. So treating anybody as a problem won't cut it. And that's why when we know that we are taking accountability of how our life want to be and how we romanticize life and how we have insane thoughts that people would know that they call us insane the moment we share, the moment we live. That's how we know our life is worth living. By now, I guess the people who have different paths of life are not even listening. So if you are listening up until now, I know you want to get something out of this. It's not even just about your romantic life. It's about you being yourself. It is not something to chase after. It's not something to win over. I am so done with people who are like saying, oh, what's your social economic background so that you match with another person? Screw that. Cheers. While it is true that people with similar vibes they match, but most of the times it's true that love is love. And you're gonna know when it is love, and you're gonna know when it is not. So just don't pretend like it's not when it is, and don't pretend like it is when it's not. It is just as simple as that, actually. And it used to be difficult for me. But I make it easy because it's a choice. And I can always choose again and again and again. Is it too late to do this? Is it too late to do that? It's never too late, darling. But then, if you're spending all your time thinking about things, hesitating about things, then you'll probably miss it. Miss the chance. And then you're slowly gonna realize that the chances that you didn't take, you have no second chances. Sure, we can give ourselves chances again and again, but then you're gonna realize that things are different from there onwards. You're gonna walk different paths, you're gonna do different things. People who communicate, they're gonna communicate more. People who don't, they don't. People who are bold enough to romanticize life just the way they hope for, are gonna live the best lives ever. And the people who don't, they're gonna spend their 60s or 70s thinking about what they have done and what they have not done. I'm personally really grateful for the people who are choosing me in my life. I have many people who have chosen me, prioritized me over all the other things that I keep close to me. And for those who don't, at least they have been with me through a certain stage. And if that's meant to be, cheers to us. Thank you. You know, we still have that ultimate question because you think we're just about dating? No. People who are like, how about after marriage? How about living through life? If you romanticize too much in your 20s, early 20s, or mid 20s, or late 20s, or whatever, it is not even about the age, okay? I wanna be romantic until 120. And I'm gonna do it that way. And I'm gonna do arts until that age. Saying that made myself wanna cry sometimes. Because we don't know what's gonna be. And that's exactly it. You're not looking for someone just to romanticize life. We romanticize life because we know this is also the person who's gonna be with us through ups and downs. Because this person is there for me when someone or something is lost in my life, that I felt so hurt and so pain, that this person is the one that I know I wanna be with, that can hold me. So this person is also the person who is worth it to romanticize with. Every time I talk until here, I'm still crying because I need to be brave. And I'm gonna call you to be brave as well. All of you. I don't care if this video have 2 views or 11 views. You're worthy of love. The kind of love that you deserve. Anyone is. I don't care about what you're thinking about. There's someone who's gonna do it for you. You're gonna do it for them. If you know who that is, don't lose them. If you don't know who that is, hanging right there. You're so patient. And you still love. One way or another. By nature. That's salty. We don't need salty water. We need plain water. And yeah, let's talk about after all these fancy things. How about when you're living together? Who's gonna do the house chores? Who's gonna go? Who's gonna settle this thing, that thing? I'm gonna make a spell. Or not just me. We're gonna make a spell And then we're gonna just boom, 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 and the things just clean themselves. You don't have to worry about things that are like that. And then you're gonna also master the magic and no longer be a muggle. And you're also gonna play with all these things that other people think are struggles. But to us, it's just like magic. It's just making itself flowing the way through. It's so cool. So cool. It's so great. So great. To the people who have watched it up until here, I wish you the best in life, love life, whatever life, etc. Be yourself. Don't have to be anybody else. With the person that you're meant to be, you're gonna be able to grow and outgrow yourself. It's not meant to be. You're gonna get triggered again. You're gonna see them as problems. And that's when you know if your gratefulness, your least of getting grateful, they're here. And then your least of blaming each other, things like that, and the triggers, if they are getting lesser and lesser and lesser, then you're headed towards really, really great direction. But then if it's ever the opposite, I wish you the best on letting go and welcoming new vibe and new energy of love. But then I know we're gonna be capable of introducing compliments and gratefulness to ourselves and also to each other. Treat each other just like the value that we know we are worthy of. Don't let all those doubts and voices get into you. You're precious. You are precious. Drop them. You know the way. And here you go. We have not just our best date, but the best romantic life ever. Thanks with love.